Hello and welcome. In this video I want to show you my usual warm-up routine. And yeah, before we get into it, short notice that the time that I will do the exercises now to show you is not the amount of time that I would usually do them when I do a proper warm-up. So if you use those exercises for yourself, it's not bad. It would be good if you do them longer than I do them now for the demonstration. So let's get into it. First, I would warm up my ankles, starting with the left foot, circling in one direction, then after some time changing the direction. Then I would switch to the right foot, and there I would do the same, one direction and change into the other direction. After this, I would warm up my knees, first circling in one direction, then in the other direction. Then I would go down and up. But I would always keep my knees together, and when I go down I try to put my weight on my legs and not on the knees, so the knees don't get strained too much, but it would still warm up the joints in the knee. So just like this, and try to keep your upper body straight. There's no problem if it's not completely straight, like this it's fine as well, but not that you are doing it like that and just laying your upper body on your legs. Then next I would warm up my hip as if I would have I would do some hula hoop. One side, then the other side. Then for the back, I would place one foot in front, and on whichever side I have the foot in front, I would turn in this direction. So now I have the left foot in front, and then I would turn to the left side and look behind me. And the goal is to go as far as possible. Then after one time I change to the right foot in front, I would turn the right side, and then again left foot, right foot, and so on. Then I would do some warm up for my shoulders, just circling them around, then the other direction. And if you want, and if you would like to improve your coordination, you can do this exercise with circling one shoulder to the front and one the other way around. And of course you can change the directions here as well, as long as they go in the opposite direction. Then I would circle my elbows. I keep the arm straight and just move the under part of your arm so your elbows get warmed up. And always change direction. And then, that is really important in martial arts as well, I would I would warm up the joints in my wrist like this, and then the other way around. I would do some grabbing so that my fingers are prepared for the training as well. And then I would do a full circle with my arms. And the other way. And again, if you want to improve your coordination, you can do the arms in the opposite direction. and change there as well. After this, I would take my hands together just like that and push them upwards and make myself long, and then I would practically form a V here with my neck and back and my arms going behind my back to stretch my shoulders. For this, I would go down and touch the ground with my hands. First a bit relaxed, then after some time passed, I would touch the ground with my entire palms. You don't have to do it this way if you're not that flexible. It's just like, the idea is that first you're just hanging down, relaxed, and after this you are stretching a bit harder, and then I would grab my ankles and pull my upper body towards my legs. So meaning for a short time stretch as hard as possible, like this. Then I will place one foot in front, grab the foot again, first stretch, bit relaxed. I would pull with the hand that grabbed onto my foot, the toes upwards and in my direction, and with the other hand I can press down my knee so that the leg is entirely straight. Then a bit harder, and then even harder. Then again, change foot. First relaxed, a bit harder, and even harder. After this, I would just do some Booboo Stretch. Practically just the Booboo stance that I have shown you in my video about Kung Fu stances, but a bit more emphasized on stretching my hip. I would go lower and change foot as well. Then it's going down like this. This exercise, if you have some problems with your knees, you shouldn't do this exercise, because this actually does put some strain on your knees. I've got no problems with my knees, that's why I like to do it, because it helps warming up the joints on my knee. And yeah, just going from right to left and left to right. Then sitting down like this and push my hip forward to warm up the muscles there as well. Then I would do some Congo Stretch. This is practically as like the Booboo, the same as the Kung Fu stance, but this time it's not so important that the behind foot is entirely on the ground, but it's more important that I'm being in a low stance and stretching my leg here. But it is important that my hip is showing to the front. In the meantime, I would have my hands like this, stretched out, and first with the palms facing downwards, and it's like someone would pull at my fingers even further and further, and you should get the feeling as if your arms are set on fire, and that's how you can stretch the muscles in your arms to get them flexible and to have faster punches. I would always do this while doing this Booboo stretch. So first like this, and then after some time I would usually count to 60 or 90 depending on whatever training I want to do afterwards. If it involves something with acrobatics or something with leg training or something that needs a lot of power from my legs, I would do less, but then I would change my behind foot from this position, now just standing on the toes and going down again. And now as well, to change a bit the stretching in my arms, I would have my palms face to the front. But again, let your arms burn. And again, counting to 60 or 90 or whatever I feel like. Then I would go onto the other foot in front. Again, first Booboo. Now palms facing backwards. Then standing on the toes, palms facing upwards. And here. Now and that's practically almost all of my warm-up exercises, and the last one is just from standing and going into a bridge. But if you're not able to do this, there's no problem. First you can just do the other exercises, and later on I will do some video with acrobatics or about bridges. And after you've learned how to do it, then you can do it as well. And if you already know how to do the bridge from standing, that's already good, and you can just try the exercise. But if you still want to do it and you are not able to do a bridge from standing, or if you are feeling a bit scared, and there's no problem with feeling scared in the beginning, you can just do it by going into the bridge from the ground, just like laying down and then go up. So from standing, like I've said, I would go into the bridge and then move towards my shoulders to stretch them out and go back to standing. And finally I would again go into a bridge and then stand up over the bridge like this. Yeah, and I would do this a couple of times. The first few times I would go into the bridge, wait like 1-2 seconds and then stand up, and the last few times I would just directly stand up after the bridge. And yeah, that's my usual warm-up routine. I hope you can take some exercises for yourself, and I wish you good training, and until next time, goodbye.